Hey guys, don't you just love it when you're, going to a garage sale or a fair or something and you find a used Swiss Army knife for a very reasonable price? I love it. That really makes my day. And that's what happened to me the other day, is I found this Wenger branded knife. I assume it's the Backpacker is the model because that's written on the blade. I went to Wenger's website and I didn't find the specific model currently being made, so I'm assuming it's discontinued. But I found this for $5, so I thought that was pretty awesome. Now, what I did find is that the current model that's most similar to this is the Traveler. And the only difference between this one and the Traveler is that this one, the blade locks right here, which is kind of cool. I've seen that before on Swiss Army knives, but I haven't actually owned one with that feature yet. So I kind of like that. And so, this can pretty much serve as a review for the Traveler. Now, your first feature on here is your can opener. Nice can opener, works well. I prefer the Victorinox can opener. This is my Deluxe Tinker. I prefer this style because you get a flathead screwdriver as well as the can opener. But, this one does work very well. So, it serves the function. Next, you have your large flathead driver and your cap lifter and your wire bender. So that's a nice tool, and I like how on the Wengers, I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but when you push in on it, like you're tightening a screw, it actually locks it in the handle so that it can't close. So that's nice. You can actually feel if you can push hard enough. It actually, here, see, go down a little. Actually goes in there and locks. So that's cool. Next, the next feature on here is your scissors. Now, I'm personally not as big of a fan of these scissors as I am of the Victorinox. The advantage to these is that you don't have the spring that can break, which is definitely an advantage. However, I feel that you can always replace the spring if it does break. And what I like about these ones is that they don't move around as much compared to these. Because this one, it kind of, the way it's designed, it kind of moves when you're cutting. And also these scissors are serrated, which isn't that bad, except that normally I trim my nails with my scissors. That's just how it works out. And so when you trim your nail with a serrated scissor, it kind of serrates your nail, which is kind of weird. And then you gotta use the nail file, and it's just kind of a hassle. And also these ones are a little thinner than the Victorinox. So if I had a choice, I'd take these ones. But don't get me wrong, I love having scissors on me, and these ones serve the function just fine. So you have scissors with you. Then your next feature is the blade, obviously. Now on this one, you have a lock, and you just push that down to unlock your blade. Now on the Traveler, it doesn't lock, and I think this particular model would be a bad version to actually travel with, because in England and places where locking blades are not allowed, obviously this knife wouldn't be allowed. So, if you're going to be traveling abroad in places, I think the Traveler is definitely a better option than this specific one. Mostly because, locking blades aren't allowed everywhere. But to me, I like the locking blade feature. It makes it just a little bit safer, a little more capable. And then after the blade, you have your nail file, which is cool. And that's something that I wish Victorinox would catch on with too. They always give you your large blade and then they give you a small blade. I don't need two blades, really. I'd prefer to have a nail file instead of the small blade. So that's one thing I like that Wenger does. That's a difference. Next up is your corkscrew. Now, just be careful when you're using a corkscrew. I actually snapped one off of a knife before because I actually I just put a little too much torque on it and it snapped off. So be careful. These are not like the most robust corkscrews ever. Personally, again, I prefer, I think you've heard it before, I prefer the Phillips head in that position over the corkscrew. Mostly just because generally I find myself screwing in a screw more than I find myself opening a bottle of wine. But you know what? If you prefer the corkscrew and that fits your needs more, great. You know, there's a reason they make a million cajillion different versions of Swiss Army knives. It's because everyone doesn't have the same needs. So this model has the corkscrew there. And then finally, it has an awl. I love having an awl on me. It's a very useful tool. And this one has it. Now again, just for comparison's sake, the Victorinox awl is, again, I think a little bit better. Just because it has the sewing eye hole. But, you know, this one's going to serve the function just fine. So, a cool little knife. Again, then you have your tweezers and toothpick there. So, you know, if you're looking for a good travel knife, definitely check out the Traveler. Especially if you're going around Europe or, I'm not sure what Asia's laws are, but, you know, places that may not allow you to have a locking knife, definitely check out the Traveler. I think it's a good complement of tools to have. So, that's it, guys. If you have any information on this specific model, if it's not really called the Backpacker, because I know the Backpacker by Wenger right now has like a serrated blade and a saw and different stuff. So if you know anything about it, definitely just, you know, let me know about it. But, gotta love a good deal, right? So, see you guys. Everyone have a nice day, and I hope there was some value to this video.